Hello, welcome to the Easy Odds YouTube channel. My name is Ross Casey and I'm here with 5-time Naps champion Paul Jacobs, who's going to go through the rides and the runners for the Northumberland Plate. Yeah. You have a selection, but unfortunately your first selection didn't actually get into the actual race itself.
No, I mean, like many of the big races nowadays, because the entries are so big, a lot of the race courses are saying, well, we'll have a consolation race. Yeah. So for the Air Gold Cup, they used to have just the Air Gold Cup, now they have the Silver Cup, and they also have a Bronze Cup because the entry is so big. So the Northumberland Plate, they now have a consolation race, the race beforehand at Newcastle on Saturday, and you'll all know now at Newcastle, of course, they've changed the whole track now, no turf.
Yeah, no turf, sand. It's poly track. Yeah, poly track. So let's take a look at the consolation, shall we?
Well, the one horse that was going to start favourite for the big race, and I'm really annoyed it hasn't got onto the big race because it was an 8-to-1 shot, is a horse called Danny Day, who is trained by Sir Michael Stout. Now, they think this horse is a group horse. He's running in a handicap here against exposed performers. If I can possibly get in the consolation 4-to-1, 9-to-2, even 5-to-1, I shall be having a maximum bet on him. His work at home apparently is brilliant. He's working, Rossi, with group horses at home, which means he's working with horses that if they ran in this race, they'd absolutely sloosh up. Yeah. So here's a horse with lots of improvement to come. He's already won on the all-weather, so the problem of him running on sand is not a problem, because he's won at Chelmsford, which is a similar surface to Newcastle. And all he needs now is the run of the race. It is 2 miles, but you still need luck in running because it's going to be a big field. And I think he's a progressive horse that needs following from here to the end of the season. We could see him running in something like the Cesarewitch at the end of the season, or maybe one of the Cup races at the end of the season as well. His name is Danny Day, and I think he'll win the consolation for the Northumberland Plate.
Excellent. And do you have a view on the actual Northumberland Plate itself?
I mean, Rossi, this is really, really competitive, and that's the problem. You normally want a low to middle draw, even though you've got to go full circle of the track. Yep. It's amazing how much the draw plays a part. You normally think, well, sprint races, the draw's more important because you have less time to get a position. But it's the same when it comes to the Northumberland Plate. You don't want to be drawn too high. It's a very competitive field. It's not the best field in the world because with Danny Day going in the consolation, these are mainly exposed performers. We know how good they are, and there should be a tight finish between them. There's going to be 20 in the field. But I'm going to have two bites of the cherry here. I'm going to go for Steve Rogers, a horse that won very well at Kempton on the all-weather on his comeback run, was made favourite for the Chester Cup, and all the way around had a really good travel, a really good sit. Everybody thought he was going to quicken up, come the final bend. All of a sudden, there was nothing left in the tank. Yeah. He ran like a horse in the closing stages, that there was something amiss with him. He's been given 2 months off the track. He comes back here off a similar mark. And because he's proven on the all-weather, and that's a big factor, I'm prepared to give him another chance. So Steve Rogers is the name of the horse. He's a 7-to-1 shot. And I think if he runs to his best form, and there's a little bit more improvement to come, they can ilk out of him, I think he'll be in the frame. But I'm going to back it up with a horse that actually finished second in that Chester Cup, called Nikita, who is a really interesting horse because in the Chester Cup he had to race wide all the way around Chester, and everybody knows Chester's a very tight track, tight oval track, and if you run wide all the way around you're giving lengths and lengths away to your rivals, and he ran very, very keen. In other words, he was pulling the jockey's arms out, so he was using energy that he didn't need to use. If he settles and he gets into a rhythm, I believe Nikita is well handicapped, and I was very surprised that Nikita was a bigger price than Steve Rogers at 8-to-1. So I've backed both horses each way, one at 7-to-1 Steve Rogers and Nikita at 8-to-1. And again, granted luck in running, I think they'll go very close in the big race itself.
Excellent stuff. So there's 3 selections there in not just the Northumberland Plate, but also the Sabre race as well. Yeah. So there's 3 selections from our tipster, Paul Jacobs, who's a 5-time Naps champion tipster. He's already found the 16-to-1 winner in the Workingham Handicap also this season. So you should be listening to his advice. We're lucky to get him in this week for Jake Johns. And for you YouTube watchers who have been enjoying the weekly horse racing tips from Jake Johns, Paul Jacobs certainly helped Jake's horse racing mind for about 6 or 7 months in the realm where Jake was kind of your understudy here at easyodds.com. So if you want to follow Paul as much as you want to follow Jake, do you want to give a quick plug for your Twitter feed? Paul?
Yeah, it's P Jacobs Tipster, and I regularly put stuff on there as well. pauljacobs.co.uk is my website as well.
Brilliant stuff, and don't forget to subscribe to the Easy Odds YouTube channel if you're a first time watcher here at easyodds.com by just clicking on the watermark at the bottom of the screen, and we'll be with you weekly with our horse racing and football tips via YouTube. So thanks very much for watching. I've been Ross Casey, and this is the 5 times Naps champion, Paul Jacobs.